Yeah, let's bring up Turkey's Megaverse, and I'm gonna let you guys just kind of say a little bit about the project, what you guys have done so far, what your plans are, and then we'll probably ask you guys some questions. We'll probably have some of the other community members ask you guys some questions as well, and see what we can do here.
In the last, oh, I already said it. I'm sorry. The last thing was the NFT giveaway, which we will be posting during the spaces. So just
Yep.
want to put that back out there.
So
Cool.
during the presentation, essentially, we give away an NFT from each project.
Hey, what's up, guys? I think I'm the only one up here from the turkeys as a speaker right now. It kind of rugged me as you were approving me, so I missed kind of the last part there. But hello, and thanks for having us. And yeah, it's good to be here.
Before you get started, someone actually suggested the turkeys in we have a little section in our Discord called who to sweep, and someone suggested you and said a couple things about the project, and it immediately grabbed my attention. I hopped onto the website, took a look at everything, took a look at the roadmap, and then I hopped into Discord and kind of just started chatting with you guys, and it seemed like a great fit for what we're doing here, so we're happy to have you guys.
Sweet, man. Yeah, that's awesome. I think there's like obviously a lot out there in the NFT world, but there's like something about turkeys. You hear that from like a lot of people as soon as they kind of see the art, and then when they start talking to people that have turkeys, and Voss Botanic especially, when you meet him, it's pretty fun. And yeah, buying turkeys is super addicting for sure.
I know I'm already at the point, and right now it's pretty easy, early, easy buy-in right now because they're zero point 0.03, zero point 0.04. You can grab a pretty cool turkey at that point. I have a funny feeling I'm just gonna keep stacking them.
Yeah. I have a funny feeling that there's a lot of us out there that are just like slowly stacking them, and I think that once we get to a point where we've got a few more holders who, like right now, man, the floor. I think there's like 9 turkeys on the floor that were bought 2 days ago at the
Right.
same price they're listed, and it's just once we can move past that, I think then you'll see more like with the floor price or whatever. But like that's not what's important, right? All the good projects know that, and um, yeah, I'd love to talk about like all the cool things that we're doing that do matter for sure.
Yeah, let's get into it, man. So yeah, tell us a little bit about the turkeys. Tell us about when the project was founded and stuff like that.
The project was founded by Vsevolod Voss Botanic. If I'm not sure if I can link anything in the space because I'm not a host or whatever, but you could find his Twitter or the regular Twitter, the Turkeys NFTs Twitter. So that's our founder, Vsevolod, and he's in Ukraine right now. He's been updating us daily on like what's been kind of going on from his perspective and in his life. It sounds like he's trying to move to a little safer spot, and he updated us this morning that um, the communication with him might be a little bit tough for a while here. So I think as a community, like especially the people who have been around a while and really have gotten to know him since the mint, which was like a stereotype who's up here could probably tell you exact date of the mint. I think it was maybe 5 weeks ago, maybe 6 now. But
January 21st, pretty sure.
okay, gotcha. Yeah, so about 6 weeks it's been. Yeah, and I think right now it's honestly like kind of hard to even answer that question, just being that I think we're all really concerned about our founder and our friend and our artist, and just much more concerned with like his life and stuff like that than anything that's going on right now in NFTs or in turkeys. But um, yeah, that's kind of how long we've been around, and that's who is like our leader. And um, yeah, I hope I answered that question all right.
Yeah. So he's like 17, right? And he's in the Ukraine right now, which was another reason I wanted to really talk about this project because we do want to support with helping out the Ukraine as much as we possibly can. It seems like he's in a really tough situation. Hopefully things get better fairly quick here, but being a young kid too, I mean, he seems like he really holds himself really well. Talking to him in the Discord and everything like that. He's what, 17 years old?
Yeah, I heard that he turned 18, and I've been trying to like pump that a little bit just because like we've got like MILF sweatshirts and like MILF jokes all the time in our Discord. So I don't know, it makes me feel comfortable that there's not like minors in there or
Right.
whatever. But yeah, I think he just like he was joking with me too about like he'd rather be 17. Like it's better if he's 14, you know, which is
Right.
again, it tells you how smart the kid is. Um, but yeah, he holds himself really, really well. And there's all kinds of people in NFTs, you know, especially when projects are minting or pumping, that just like kind of bum rush your Discord and start doing stuff and saying things. And from day one, I've always been really impressed with how he handles himself and how he treats people in the community, his decision making, his like aptitude for just like crypto in general, and like what's a good move and what's not. You know, we do like a lot of strategizing kind of behind the scenes outside of the general chat, and um, he's a super smart kid. Yeah, it's amazing to meet like young people like that, you know.
Yeah, there's a lot in this space. It's very cool to
Yeah.
see young kids with some really bright futures who are making some good money and doing some cool stuff. He's the artist too, right? I mean, the artist.
Yeah, he's the artist. And these turkeys are like, yeah, they're all his creation. Um,
So, what do you guys have planned? I know you had your mint January 21st. Looking at your roadmap, it seems like you have some really cool stuff happening.
yeah, so that roadmap is like, I think it's important to look at it as like a loose structure and not necessarily like something that's super rigid, which I think is like a hallmark of all good projects. But all those things that are on that roadmap are being planned. The order of them, I think, will kind of shake out and play out as you see us move forward. Voss Botanic had some really big plans to mint a collection of mutant turkeys on March 25th at some point. He was, you know, that was his date that he picked, you know, before this whole thing broke out. But I think we're all just kind of like, there's no hurry on that at this point. But I think the minting the mutant collection is the next checkpoint for the project, and then I think after that we'll be getting into a metaverse. And we've had some people reach out since we've gotten some attention, you know, over the last week and a half, or however long it's been, um, that are gonna, you know, help us look into that, help us get into. Looks like NFT Worlds is kind of our big front runner right now for where we want to build. Um,
Love hearing.
and yeah, yeah.
How do you feel about that, Terrence? Did you like NFT Worlds?
I am a huge NFT World fan.
Terces is an unabashed holder of NFT Worlds, always a big proponent.
Yes.
That's awesome. Yeah. I obviously, I personally didn't do nearly enough research over the last, like, while this was all happening with Sand and Mana and all those, you know, other metaverses. But when we started talking about it over this last week, when you kind of dig into NFT Worlds and everything you can do there, I think it's like a no brainer, front runner in the whole space.
Yeah, it's a super cool ecosystem, and the devs behind the project over there are just delivering every single day. You know, and it's awesome to watch them do what they're doing with NFT Worlds.
Yeah. Yeah. It looks super awesome.
So the mutants, now is that something that's going to be a free mint for holders? So if you hold a turkey, you'll be able to mint a mutant, right?
If you hold 3 turkeys, you'll get a free mutant, and
Okay.
there's no cap on that. So if you hold 24 turkeys, then you get 8 mutants. Um, and the public mint will be 0.03. That's kind of all the details that we have right now. I don't know that I could tell you if it's going to be a holder's mint first for those, you know, 3 for a mutant, or if it'll all take place at the same time. I think those details will get released later, but that's what I can share now.
Awesome. And then so I see, obviously on the roadmap, like you said, it's going to be something that takes a while to fill out. But you've got breeding, merch, the gobble token. Where are you guys at with all that stuff? I mean, has any of that stuff been started yet?
Gobble token is in the works. We talk with Sev a lot about like what he wants to do. I think like when you make a token, there's a lot there, and you kind of have to look at like what values do you want? Like what's most important to you? Do you want to have like a cool DeFi mechanic token? Do you want to have a token that's like community governance and community ownership over the turkeys? Blah blah blah. So we're looking into that, and we're like modeling stuff already. When we first started going down the roadmap, that was the part that I personally was really excited about and put a lot of like effort into developing and like modeling, And now that we're looking into NFT Worlds, we're starting to see that, like, oh, I think like the order of operations is you get into NFT Worlds, you build a little bit, and then you can do some play to earn stuff with the world token, and then hopefully incorporate your token later. And I think for that reason, it just like makes it a lot easier. So I think the token is kind of being pushed back a little bit. As far as breeding, we're doing mutant turkeys first, and then breeding comes after that. So nothing really there.
Yeah.
And then merch is just one of those things where it's like, I think a lot of collections could probably relate to this, where there's always like community members who are like, oh, hey, like I can make a sweatshirts. So there's been a little bit of that too. There just hasn't been like that united effort over the last 6 weeks to like get some officials turkeys merch out yet, but there's been like a lot of stuff in discussion. And I think it'll just get easier once Voss Botanic gets to like a safe spot somewhere where he can work a little bit more. And then I would imagine merch is like pretty easy to put out once we get the mutants out. Yeah, so that's kind of where we're at with all those like points on the roadmap.
Yeah, and like you said, I'm sure he's got a ton of other stuff on his mind besides this right now. So I mean,
exactly, yeah. And I
essentially
mean,
life, right?
yeah, totally. And I think that roadmap, I don't know, I hear myself almost like apologizing that like all those things aren't like fleshed out or thought out or being released anytime soon. But I think maybe some like perspective there is just that each one of those items is like a pretty big deliverable, and I think that what he had in mind when he put that forth is like, this is the next like year to maybe 18 months of like all the seeds that we want to plant for this community. So yeah, it takes time, and I
Yeah,
hope that's like,
100%. And I was drawn to the art, specifically the art. I was drawn to the art, even the logo. Man, the logo looks awesome. It kind of reminds me of honestly, it kind of reminded me of Fang Gang a little bit. The logo did, and it's art that really attracts you. And that's why I bought a couple, and we'll probably buy a couple more as well as you guys continue to build.
Man, I'm not going to deny anybody. You request to speak, you can speak for sure.
100%. And then one other thing is we did pin the NFT giveaway for the turkey up top. So take a look at that. Go to it. It's an opportunity for a free NFT and kind of a preview of what we'll be doing every week with our community.
I totally agree. I think like turkeys, there's all these fun things on the roadmap, and we'll see how that plays out. Team is super like stoked to build them, but above all, it's just like art and community. And I think those are the two strongest things that anybody can have on their roadmap. So
absolutely. I think one thing we're seeing and that we saw at the beginning of this whole journey of NFTs is the art really comes first. And I think that's what initially people are drawn to is the art, and the turkeys definitely have that. So it's cool to see where you guys are at and where I think you guys can go.
oh yeah.
Awesome. So
Yeah, appreciate having you guys.
any questions for the turkeys? Anybody in the crowd? Any other communities? Wiley, Flossie, either of you guys?
No, I mean, just after hosting now a handful of these, and it's just so cool. I think hearing folks and personal stories go a long way. I think the community over there, it sounds excellent, and I'm excited to learn more about it. Absolutely, and that's what's cool about these. Again, as the host, as co-founders, we are janitors too, so it's awesome learning here and there about different projects. I didn't know too much about Turkey's Megaverse coming in, and it's always nice hearing from the founders and where you guys are headed. So cheers, man. Really cool.
Hey, can I throw one more little caveat at you guys for the turkeys before we wrap it up?
Of course.
Yeah, but
So one thing that I didn't mention at all that I just think is super cool with turkeys, and it was like, I don't know, probably the second thing that I noticed as soon as I got done, like just kind of looking at the art and the JPEGs. But that's the membership trait. So like our backgrounds, most collections, they have like a number of backgrounds, and it's just like the color, and that's like a trait. But what Voss Botanic did is he set out like these 9 different membership like tiers or ranks. And so, the rarest turkey is like an elite, and then it works down, and the names are even kind of funny. It's like elite, VIP, legend, wild, senior member, junior member, senior member, club member, junior member, and then prospect and nominee. And I just think that was like a super funny like thing that he did, because it's like, membership to what? But then, you know, it gives the community, i.e. me and like the rest of the team, all these like fun ideas. Like with the gobble token, you know, obviously the elites are going to get more
Yeah.
either streamed or for staking. And so I think that's like, he planted this seed in there where there's all this like lore that can come from that. So look
Yeah,
out
I
for
mean,
that. Great.
that's another thing. I mean, to be able to think like that, you know, as a kid that's pretty young, 17-year-old kid, essentially a kid who's still, you know, learning so much every single day, to be able to put something like that into the project is super next level, man. So I can definitely see you guys continuing to get quite a bit bigger with such a you know, a big brain like that behind the project as such a young kid.
Yeah, awesome. Absolutely. Love hearing the team stories, man. I really do. I think that's a big part of what we're doing here. So thanks a bunch, guys. Yeah, we'll have that giveaway pinned for a couple more seconds here.
Yeah,
Long lost is up next.